guys, the Nintendo Switch is descending upon us in a matter of days. In an effort to while away the hours until my console arrives, I've decided to rank all of the Nintendo home and portable consoles, since the Switch is a hybrid of the two. This video is going to be taking a look at the home consoles of Nintendo. You can check out my video on the portable consoles by clicking on the card on the top right, or I'll also put it in the description. So coming in at number 6 is the Nintendo Wii. The codename for the Wii while it was under development was Revolution, and it was just that. No, I'm not referring to the motion controls so much as the radical philosophy of bringing everybody, regardless of age, gender, or gaming experience, together in the living room. In that regard, the Wii was a resounding success, selling over 100 million units on its way to becoming the best-selling console of the 7th generation. While the system saw some incredible titles such as Super Mario Galaxy, Metroid Prime 3, No More Heroes, and The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, it also saw an inordinate amount of shovelware. Because the system was so different from the other two major consoles, third-party developers were slow to bring multi-platform games to the system, which led to many periods of game droughts. Guys, let's have some tough love here. I'm just gonna be blunt. The Wii U is a commercial failure. Nintendo has only managed to push a little more than 13 million units, and just announced they will cease production on the console altogether.
Don't cry for me, I'm already dead.
It's a crying shame too, because the system does have some truly great titles, like Super Smash Bros., Xenoblade Chronicles, and the incredibly addicting Super Mario Maker. Unfortunately, Nintendo's baffling marketing strategy meant that the general public either didn't know that the Wii U was an entirely new system, and not just a peripheral for the Wii, or else they weren't aware of the games coming to the system. And when a system is struggling commercially, that means less third-party support. And less third-party support means less variety. Guys, settle in because I'm gonna be mentioning third-party support a lot in this video. Coming in at number 4 is the Nintendo 64. I will forever hold a special spot in my heart for the good old N64. Games like the Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, and Banjo-Tooie helped me form the taste in gaming I carry with me to this day. And the frantic 4-player split-screen madness of games like GoldenEye, Mario Kart 64, and Mario Party forged, and to be at times honestly nearly destroyed, lasting friendships. The system had an innovative controller, incredible graphical capabilities, and plenty of Nintendo's trademark magic. With all of that being said, the console did have its shortcomings as well, chief among which was Nintendo's choice to stick with cartridges instead of migrating to CDs. Longtime Nintendo creator Shigeru Miyamoto claims this choice was made to prevent long load times, but it came at a price. Literally. Cards were much more expensive to produce than CDs. Since games could be published much more affordably on the CD-based PlayStation, and because Sony bent over backward to make it easy on developers, many third-party companies like Square jumped ship. And less third-party support— you know, never mind. You get what I'm gonna say here. Just let's move on. Coming in at number 3 is the Gamecube. Let's see here. Impressive specs? Check. An incredible controller design? Check. Third-party support? Actually, check. An impressive library? Check, check, checkity check. The Gamecube really had it all. Nintendo, their second-party developers, and third-party developers churned out a veritable bevy of classics. Heck, the system's North American launch window had Luigi's Mansion, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I mean, my gosh, that's like the holy trifecta of perfect launch titles. And the GameCube's library only got better from there. Had the NES not come along, there's a very good chance we wouldn't be talking about home video game consoles at all. After the infamous video game crash of 1983, most people felt that home consoles had been a fad, and little more. Thankfully, a quirky Japanese company who had had a hand in everything from playing cards to love hotels, ugh, gross, stepped in to attempt to fill the vacuum left by the crash. Propelled by titles like the seminal Super Mario Bros., the NES managed to resurrect an entire industry. Soon, third-party developers wanted to publish games on the system, and they were free to do so long as they played by Nintendo's rules. The Nintendo seal of quality may have caused headaches for developers, but it ensured that the amount of decent games outweighed the amount of crap games. As a result, the NES era saw the rise of Konami, Capcom, Square, Rare, and other developers who have played major roles in the video game industry. It is a classic console. Let's just list them off here, shall we? Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy VI, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, Castlevania 4, Mario Kart, Yoshi's Island, F-Zero, Star Fox, Killer Instinct, Aladdin, Super Star Wars, UN Squadron, Earthbound, and the list goes on. From its release in Japan in 1990 to its discontinuation in 2003. Wait, that can't be right. No, that's right, 2003. The SNES proved that it was the system that refused to die. When the world had moved on to 32-bit consoles like the Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation, the ingenious design of the SNES allowed games like 1994's Donkey Kong Country to continue to compete with superior systems. The system proved one of Nintendo's guiding philosophies. The utilization of technology, and not necessarily the power itself of technology, is what creates magic. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild has music and graphics that sound and look worlds better than The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. But I'd be willing to bet my life that though the game will be incredible, it won't have that uniquely magical feeling the SNES Classic has. And therein lies why the SNES is the top console. There has never been a console to quite recreate its magic. Have graphics become more photorealistic? Absolutely. Has sound become more high fidelity? Of course. But the fact is, there's just something about SNES titles that's magic. No matter how many times you play those games, there's a feeling there that I have not got on any other console. And that's why it's my choice for the best Nintendo home console. What is your favorite Nintendo home console? How do you feel about the Switch? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think it's going to be successful, or do you think it's going to be another Wii U? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or found it mildly interesting, you might consider hitting that thumbs up button. It definitely helps me out. Also, you may want to consider subscribing to my channel. I look at all kinds of different pop culture stuff, from video games to movies to TV shows to toys. And while I focus mainly on the 90s, I definitely do stuff from the present as well. So if you're interested, hit that subscribe. My entire self-esteem is dependent on it.